Hello, everybody. Good morning, afternoon, evening, or night. Welcome in to anybody who's new, and welcome back to those of you who have been here before. Now, this reading is going to be a little bit different because I woke up this morning thinking about the date, April 20th, 420, thinking about the significance that has come to be 420 and what this date means. Of course, you all know what the title of this video is. I don't know because I'm just going with it, going with my guides. At first I thought, well, I'm just thinking about that. Like I always do, I don't sometimes believe that my guides want me to do a reading or a channeling on something until they bring it to me over and over, and then I say, okay, I'll do that. So they kind of prompted me to think about 420, the significance, the meaning around cannabis and how that all happened. So I did look it up, and the original 420 in 1971 at 4:20 p.m., 5 students at San Rafael High School in California met by a statue of Louis Pasteur to smoke some Mary Jane, or whatever you want to call it. And they became known as the Waldos because they met at the wall. 420 was their code to each other to meet up and smoke, basically. Fast forward to December 28th, 1990, and flyers were handed out by a group of Deadheads, which are Grateful Dead followers, if you don't know that already, to smoke 420. By then, this was the code name for cannabis, Mary Jane, marijuana, weed, whatever, pot. There have been so many different names for it. So 420 became that code. This led to the universal code name of 420, which then led to April 20th as the day to bring cannabis smokers together on a cannabis smokers holiday. So that's quite a journey from 1971 to 2024, and this is what the significance of the day is. So some people like to smoke, some people like to eat, the edibles with THC in them. Some people like the properties of CBD, which is also derived from a plant, but it doesn't have the psychic qualities that THC does. So cannabis has become more than just a feel-good medicine. And why do I say medicine? Because it does have medicinal properties, and for some people, that's why they partake, because of the medicinal properties for anti-anxiety, people that can't sleep, people that have a lot of pain, glaucoma, seizures, things like that. This is a plant, so it's been so stigmatized. And just for the record, I am so sensitive to cannabis that I can't really smoke it. Edibles are okay once in a while, but it's not something that I do on the regular. However, I know many people who do, and it's because of certain conditions that they may have, mainly anxiety. That's like the number one reason that I hear that people partake in this plant medicine. So years and years ago, I'll say more than 10 years, 12 years ago or so, my son asked me to watch this documentary, which was about a 40-year-old, I think she was 40. I tried to find the documentary so I could put a link to it, but I can't find it. A documentary about a 40-year-old woman who went to Amsterdam to learn about cannabis and the different strains and how it affected the body. And she actually did this documentary and filmed herself smoking different strains and talked about the effect. It was super interesting, and I wish I could find it. So I watched that, and that kind of changed my attitude. I didn't necessarily have an attitude that it was bad. I just had an attitude that, which still so many people do, that people who smoked weed were just lazy and didn't want to do anything. That was not the right attitude to have. So that documentary kind of opened up my thinking and made me more non-judgmental about people who use this and why they use it. So, but in the long run, the one thing that it can do is make you feel happy. Most people are not angry or mad or defensive or anything when when they do use this medicinal plant. And some people like the CBD because it has been effective in joint pain and other types of pains in the body and things like that. So I also was interested, did Native Americans use this? Yes, they did. This was a big part of their ceremonies and things like that. But it has been traced as far back as 2800 BC. Yes, BC. So cannabis has been around a long time. And, whether you partake or you don't, I would invite you to take a fresh look and be non-judgmental towards those who do, if that's possible for you. I don't know why my guides want me to do this, but I'm just going with it. I'm going with the flow. So that's some information on the history of it. Now, what I've done is I've meditated. I've cleared my space with Palo Santo, even using a turkey feather that I have to kind of put that smoke over me. And that could be because recently I've had a new guide who showed up that is a Native American. So maybe that's who's kind of fueling this. But each of my guides they chose a deck. They told me what deck they wanted me to use. And then they want me to, choose a card from that deck for their message about 420 or cannabis culture and things around cannabis. So again, this is a very different video, very different type of message, but as you know, if you've seen me before, I do what my guides lead me to do. I am a channel and a vessel for their messages. These are not messages from me, Lisa. I mean, yes, I might say a few things. I might give you a few scenarios that have happened to me when they tie into the readings, but I am doing this. I am making myself available to my guides for a message. Okay. Mother Mary, okay. That just flipped right out. So Mother Mary chose the Magical Times Empowerment deck by Jody Bergsma. Mother Mary's message and her card on this Cannabis 420 reading is live with compassion. Open your heart to all life forms. Be an angel with hands. Kindness. You guys all know, if you've watched before, that kindness is my thing. I'm always talking about it. Kindness is free. We can give it easily. So, let me feel into this. So Mother Mary is saying, rather than judging people for the way that they treat their own bodies for their illnesses or maladies, she's saying we need to be more kind about it. We do not know what another person is going through or feeling because we're not in their bodies. So when you encounter somebody who may be a user of cannabis, THC, edible, CBD, what have you, you need to be compassionate. You need to open your heart to all life forms. Plants are life forms. And she's also saying mushrooms as well. Maybe that will be a reading for a different day. So Mother Mary's message to all of us is to be a little kinder, be a little more accepting, be a little bit more compassionate when it comes to this. I don't know who needs this. Obviously, my guides only give me readings to do if somebody needs a message about it. They don't just randomly give me something. Okay? And that's why I don't end up doing readings every day, because I do readings when I'm prompted to by my guides. All right, next is Justin. And if you haven't watched me before, I can remind you, Justin is like a medieval guy. He came to me when I had my Quantum Flame Healing session last July 2023. And he has a hawk with him. And he usually shows himself to me looking like a medieval guy or a pioneer type guy with his hawk landau surrounding him. All right, so what is the animal spirit message regarding 420, cannabis, etc. From you, Justin? What is the card? Jeez. All right. There's 2 cards there. Landau. Hawk. Do you have a message for our viewers today from the animal spirit world for cannabis, THC, CBD? And I am not an aficionado about this by any stretch of the imagination. I know that there are strains like sativa and indica. I don't know. I can't even remember. But I'm not well versed in it. It hasn't been something that's been prominent or, forefront of my life. Landau, do you have a card that you would like to show to our viewers? No, they're saying, or he's saying, the 2 cards are from us. Okay. Snow leopard, self-reliance. You are strongly independent and often solitary. Integrity is important for your best outcome. Cloak yourself with invisibility and walk with the shamans. Use your intuition and let your life unfold in silent perfection. Okay, Justin. Snow leopard, self-reliance. So what he's telling me, what he's giving me right now, is that self-reliance is what people have used when it comes to cannabis for decades, because they couldn't rely on other things, either man-made medicines or even going somewhere to get it. So they had to rely on themselves to help their condition. Okay, so that's being independent. And sometimes that was solitary because people felt they couldn't tell anybody. Many, many years people would be cannabis users and not tell anyone because they were afraid of being ostracized or persecuted or judged, right? Integrity is important for your best outcome. So using your integrity and non-judgmental ways, remember that those who need this are being healed by it, okay? So we need to remember that. I sometimes, nowadays, because cannabis is legal, it's legal in Maine and so many other states, sometimes I go to the grocery store and get out of my car and I can smell the smoke that somebody's been smoking. Probably 10 years ago, I might be like, oh, geez, potheads or whatever. I'm not like that anymore. This person could suffer from panic attacks. Maybe they need that before they go into the grocery store, right? We just don't know. We have to stop judging others. All right, and then from Landau is Goose, inner knowing. You are a brave traveler. Your soul knows the way. Be confident you will achieve your destination. Loyal friends are always with you. Don't worry. You are blessed. Let yourself fly. Okay. All right, Landau. So, inner knowing. His message is sometimes we outwardly say things because that's what the crowd expects us to say. Like we may, if somebody is saying something bad about people who use cannabis, we go along with it when really on the inside we know that's not how we feel. So he's saying, be more brave about that. Be more brave about being able to speak up. I can give you an example that happened to me when I lived in Tennessee. Several years ago, I worked at it was a doctor's office in a hospital, and there were a bunch of people standing around. We were waiting for somebody to come with a key to let us in, and there had been an article about a family who was petitioning to let their son have cannabis because it stopped his seizures, and they were all saying very negative things about the whole situation. And even though I was afraid to do it, I said, hey, listen. If that was your child and the only thing that stopped him from having a seizure every 15 minutes, wouldn't you do the same thing? And honest to God, you could have heard a pin drop. They all just kind of stood there and thought for a moment about what I had said. And the conversation kind of ended because they, Tennessee, I think it's still not legal in Tennessee. That's in the Bible Belt, and they just don't want to be open-minded about it. So, it was difficult to do that because I was worried. I said, am I going to lose my job? Are they going to tell somebody that, that I smoke weed? What's going to happen? But I just couldn't listen to them doing that. I just couldn't. So I had to speak up. Okay. So, use integrity, right? Be yourself, right? This is a big dragon message. And the next card that's coming through is going to be from the dragons. This is the Star Dragons Oracle. This is the deck they wanted me to use. I have a couple decks with dragon cards, but this is the one. So again, we're just thinking about not judging others, okay? So, having a 420 holiday, you don't have to partake, but you also don't have to ostracize those who do, right? It's like, the followers of Gloria Steinem and all the things that they did. Not everybody agreed with that. Not everybody agrees with 420. Not everybody agrees with Pride, but we need to be non-judgmental. Everybody's walking their own path. We need to let them do it. We need to let them walk their path. It's so weird. Usually I have to shuffle and shuffle before I get a card out, but today, for some reason, these cards are just dropping right out. So I'm feeling they really felt like this is an important message. So from the dragons, healing, restoring hope. How appropriate. Healing, restoring hope. So what they're giving me right now about this is, in the case of what they're showing me is veterans who suffer from PTSD, who could not get any relief from the bad visions, the bad dreams, the things that they felt until they used cannabis as a medicine, basically. That's what the dragons are showing me, that this herb is a healing herb. They also want to say, obviously, when it's used appropriately. Whatever that means for each individual, because body chemistry is different. Some people could take, one edible and that would be enough. Some people need to take 10. It depends, but they're saying, as far as abuse with cannabis, what the message the dragons are giving me is, it's on the higher side, no pun intended, of healing than it is on deterioration. So they're saying that doesn't mean that people can't get so into it that they don't want to face reality. So yes, there can be some dangers. It is not, they're telling me, this is not me, Lisa, it is not physically addicting, but it can be addicting in the fact that people want to stay in that kind of leveled out emotions, they're saying. Leveled out emotions. So the danger in that would be if you didn't go to work because you wanted to stay home and smoke cannabis or eat edibles. That would be a danger. But they're saying for the most part, it is a healing plant. Okay? Healing. Restoring hope. Okay, they want me to go to the book. This is a number 18, which is a 9, which is accomplishment. So let's see what the full message. Healing, restoring hope. Pegasus. Pegasus is the constellation for this card. Hope springs eternal and is waiting for you to take flight. Even in the darkest night, the star shines forth to lead the way. Hope does not expect anything, but rather looks forward and visualizes a day when the light will return once more. Hold on to that vision and press on forward. Actively restore your optimistic mindset. Help is on the way. So this could be a message for some of you who do need this and live in a state where it is not legal. That's the message they're giving me for that hope is on the way portion. How a plant ever got... Well, I do know this because I have researched this. The reason why cannabis was made illegal was, I think it was back in, was it Nixon? But the problem was everybody was getting so happy that nobody was signing up to go into the military. This, you can Google this, you can look it up. So they said, well, we've got to do something about this. Everybody's getting too happy. This was back in the 60s, I think, with, you know, the Woodstock and all that was going on, and love and peace and, you know, free sex. All the things that were happening in the 60s were making people not want to fight. So that is what prompted the illegalization of cannabis. All right. Sorry. I just wanted to explain that because I did know that. Healing will come in its time, even when things seem the bleakest. When you allow yourself time to heal, you will be refreshed and restored into new life and vitality. Tend to your wounds. Learn your lessons and actively take steps to heal and rebuild as you press on to newfound restoration. Restore, refresh, rejuvenate. Okay, so this can also go to somebody who is either thinking about this type of medicine or is using it and not wanting anybody to know. It is really important to do this in a safe manner. I am not a doctor. I am not an herbalist. I am not a cannabis grower. I am bringing you the message that the dragons are bringing to me. Okay? 21:21 on the camera clock just then. So that's what the dragons wanted to say, wanted to give you. Healing. Very appropriate, I think. Okay. Next, my guide Merlin has a message. We're going to pull one card for a message from Merlin on this. I really hope that you guys are not turned off by the fact that I can't worry about that. My guides tell me all the time, don't worry about how many views this has. Don't worry, it's going to reach the people or person that needs it. My guides have told me before, if your video gets 1 view, that's the person who needed to see it. So stop worrying. And, you know, I don't want to lose subscribers because I would really sincerely hope that my subscribers are way more open-minded than that. And if you like the video and you feel like people need to see it, please give it a thumbs up. It's the only way that it will make its rounds. Okay? Okay, Merlin, my guide. When I had a recent healing session, Merlin gave me or showed me him putting a purple velvet cloak on me. It was amazing. I am very, very, very blessed and lucky to have the guides that I have. I wish I had had them when I was 20. Okay, Merlin. What's your card from this? This is the Llewellyn deck. It, again, just flips right out. This is the Llewellyn deck or the Red Dragon deck, the Pendragon deck, the King Arthur deck, I sometimes call it. I love this deck. Is that going to stay there? Sorry, guys. Let me just... Okay, so what we got was the moon. The moon. Oh my God, look at. I love this card. With the owl flying over the lake and the full moon there. Full moon coming up on the 23rd. 23:32. 2332 on the clock just then. Okay, this is Lake of Maidens, the moon. Number 18. Again, this is a 9. This is accomplishment. So Merlin is saying many states have accomplished the legalization of this beautiful plant with so many medicinal properties, so many ways to help humanity. And I'm getting goosebumps all over as I'm saying this. He's saying that no longer does this beautiful plant need to be in the shadows, or because the moon represents our shadow side. No more does it have to be that way for most people. But we still need to remember that there are places where people cannot get or have this beautiful medicine, this beautiful plant medicine. Wow, Merlin, thank you. He says we really, really need to get back to that healer mentality. where we can heal our own bodies with the herbs and plants and flowers, with nature, water, streams, meadows. Wow, it's just, he's saying if more people would rely on those things instead of synthetics, and you all know what that means, we would be a much healthier planet. Wow. Thank you for that, Merlin. Anything else? Anything else? Just tuning in. He's saying, you're getting there. You're getting there. People are beginning to wake up and rely more on natural healing than ever. Okay. And then the, sorry. The Native American new guy that came in, I don't know his name yet. I haven't had a confirmation. He wanted me to use the Spirit Song Tarot deck. I don't use this very often, but it does have a lot of animals in it. And as you know, in Native American culture, animals were very important to them. They had totems. They had, a lot of Native Americans had animal names. Feathers were a very obviously important part of their culture. So this Indian Native American wanted me to use this deck for his message. He is a male. He showed me himself as an older Native American with kind of silvery white hair. And then he showed me himself as a young brave with a long black ponytail. But I haven't had a whole lot of information from him as yet. So he may still be integrating into my guide family and still trying to integrate with me. But he did want to chime in here. Okay. Beautiful Native American guide. What is the card that you would like to show? Ace of Crystals. Ace of Crystals is a panda. Manifestation and prosperity. Ace of Crystals. The panda. All right, I need to go to the book for this tarot deck because the meanings are so different. Okay. Oops. Sorry, guys. I don't have this book. Okay, Ace of Crystals. Ace of Crystals, panda, manifestation and prosperity. Aces tend to be new beginnings. The artwork on this deck is beautiful. The message. Panda is gifted with the magic of manifesting good fortune. Centered and calm, she is your guide in staying grounded while you pursue your goals. Allow your highest potential to be nurtured with patience and know that you already possess the skills needed to achieve results. Successful ventures are on the horizon and will be brought to fruition if you begin with a strong foundation. Align yourself with the energies that will bring you fulfillment and allow your creative energy to manifest prosperity into your life. So the funny thing, while I was reading that, he was showing me somebody who is either in or starting a cannabis business or a CBD business and saying, don't worry, everything is going to work out. Now, I have no idea if I have anyone who watches me that does that. And then towards the end, he was showing me a stable foundation means, make sure that you do your homework and your research about where you are getting this type of product. Make sure that you know exactly what it is that you're getting, right? So Ace of Crystals, new beginning, manifestation, being creative. That's another, okay, so another thing that he's giving me now is that sometimes really creative juices can get flowing when you partake in this plant medicine. This is a historical thing. This has been shown many times. if you're partaking and you meditate or you paint or you draw or you sing or you write, that can really bring out those creative properties in your spirit and your soul. All right, and my last guide message, oh boy, my higher self is Phaedra. She is my protector. Phaedra is always with me, always, but especially when I'm doing readings and channelings. She's kind of like my gatekeeper. She keeps any harmful entities, spirits, or what have you from getting in. She also helps keep me from getting overwhelmed with the energies that come in. If you watched my very first dragon message, I could barely talk because the energy was so strong. Now that I'm used to it and the dragons have understood how they need to tone it down when they're in my human form, when they're coming through me, it's a lot easier. But so Phaedra is my higher self, protector, gatekeeper, guide. That's her role. She doesn't often bring messages. Typically, she's just protecting me. She's there and she's protecting me. I'm sure she has a part in all the messages, but her role usually is protecting me. But this time, she chose a deck for me to get a card, so I will do it. Phaedra, my lovely, beautiful, beautiful protector. What is the card that you would like for my people watching today? That was a bunch. What would you like them to know about cannabis, the plant medicine, the 420 date, herbal medicine, taking care of their bodies, not judging others for partaking? Oh my gosh. See, every single one of these cards has either totally flipped over or turned around like that. Metamorphosis. Wow. Embrace transformation. Things are now different. Things are now different. Yes, they are. Things are now different. Things are different in the way that more people do accept plant medicine, herbal medicine. If you know of somebody who does this, but you have been judgmental of them, now is the time to change that. Now is the time to be less judgmental of this. Embrace transformation. Okay, let me just see. Okay, this is page 106, which is a 7, which is reflection. 7s and 9s. (106) Metamorphosis from Phaedra, my higher self. Water, more than any other element, is very used to change. Like lobsters, which must shed their shells in order to grow, when the conditions call for it, water transforms itself from liquid to solid and to gas in the form of clouds, mist, or vapor. While it may appear that the way we humans change is a little more subtle and slow than that, as ever-changing beings living in an ever-changing world, we're constantly transforming too. Every moment, every single day is an opportunity to embrace or resist change. When we embrace change, we embrace the intelligence of life. When we resist change, we resist the intelligence of life. Often it's in the growth phase that we feel most uncomfortable. When we've outgrown our skin or our shell or our old way of being, it requires great courage to release what was for the chance to begin again. This is what it means to transform, and it's what this card is all about. It's time to embrace what's changing around and within you, and to see it as an opportunity for great transformation and growth. So what she was giving me during that reading of the meaning was that for some of you, this transformation is going to be judging those cannabis users more lightly or less. And for some, that transformation means partaking less and evening and balancing it out. If there's anybody watching who feels or knows that, okay, I've been doing this too much, I need to stay in reality and do the things I need to do, that would be a message from her to you with non-judgment. She is non-judgmental. I am non-judgmental. Oh my God, we don't judge each other or others, right? Everybody is on their own path. Everybody is on their own path. That's just what we have to come to understand. We have to understand. We have to start understanding that we are on our path and others are on their path. We cannot make people do what we want. We cannot make people do what we think they should. They are walking their own path, right? So they will reap either the reward, the benefit, or the challenges of their choices, okay? Wow, thank you, Spirit. Thank you, guides. Thank you, Phaedra, and everyone. Okay, they want me to end with a Saints and Mystics card for this 420 reading today. Thank you for staying tuned. I hope this has been interesting. It certainly has for me. All these different messages that have come through. Wow, I mean, it's really interesting. Sun's coming out. Thank you, sun. Love the sun. It was going to be kind of a rainy, dreary day, but the sun's coming out. And it's, what is it? It's 11 o'clock here. 11. Very important number for me. Some of you know I got married on 11/11/11 at 11 o'clock. Dressed in medieval clothing. Okay. What is the card from this Saints and Mystics Oracle deck? Suddenly I am so hot. Oh my gosh. Just hot flash, I guess. Saint Joseph. Divine creation. Saint Joseph, the earthly father of Jesus. Talk about non-judgmental, right? That was Saint Joseph. What is the number? 7. Okay, 7s and 9s, very prominent in this reading. 7s, reflection. 9s, accomplishment. Saint Joseph. Feast day is March 19th, patron saint of fathers and the divine masculine. Of all the saints, Saint Joseph is arguably one of the most favorable, beloved, and honored. Joseph's exceptional and admirable qualities include his divine virtues of surrender, steadfastness, and his non-judgmental nature. Wow, Spirit. Guys, you can't make this up. Thank you, Spirit. Christian scripture places Joseph as the partner to the Blessed Virgin Mary and the mortal father of Jesus, who he helped raise and care for. A loving father, supportive partner, and hard worker, Joseph is heralded as the icon of divine masculinity, both loving and strong in all forms. He was a skilled man of great inner knowledge and heart. The invocation, Father of peace, of craft and change, teach me the ways to love again. Wow. Okay. So, non-judgmental was Saint Joseph, right? And he can show you the way to love. He can show you the way back to loving someone who possibly you have been judging. I don't know. I'm just giving you what they're telling me. Saint Joseph is the epitome of fatherly masculine love. Divine fatherly masculine love. Okay, so kindness from Mother Mary. Live with compassion and open your heart to all life forms. Snow leopard, self-reliance, reminding us that for years some people have had to do this and in some places still have to rely on themselves for healing because they don't have access to what they need. Goose, this is inner knowing, right? You're brave, right? You know the truth and can tap into that, right? And you can speak up when needed, right? Healing from the dragons, not forgetting the healing properties that this beautiful medicinal plant has. From Merlin, the moon, that now this can come out into the light. It doesn't have to be hidden, right? We don't have to hide that about ourselves. We don't have to worry that we're supporting someone who uses this medicinal plant. Ace of Crystals, manifestation, creativity, which this medicinal plant can bring out. The joy, the happiness, the creativity, right? Metamorphosis, embracing transformation, and things are now different, right? And Saint Joseph. Wow. Okay, guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this as much as I've enjoyed letting it unfold from my guides. I do love you all so much, and thank you for supporting my channel. Peace and kindness every single day.